I place the meat in the boiling water. I learned this trick at a 5-star steakhouse. Next, with the water still boiling, I add 3 whole cloves of garlic. I also add 1 teaspoon of salt to really enhance the flavor of the meat, along with 1 tablespoon of dried rosemary, which gives it a strong and special aroma, and 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, which complements the seasoning lightly. Now I place the chop directly into the seasoned boiling water, letting it cook for exactly 5 minutes, just enough to absorb the flavor without overcooking. After the 5 minutes, I turn off the heat and carefully remove the chop from the pot. Then we move on to the seasoning. I will use fresh onion and tomato. I'm going to chop them into small pieces so they mix well with the rest of the seasonings. This simple preparation transforms the chop into a homemade dish with restaurant flavor. You can be sure that everyone will be surprised by the result of this delicious recipe. I also chop the tomatoes, making sure the pieces are even for better texture. With the ingredients chopped, I start seasoning. 3 finely chopped cloves of garlic, 2 teaspoons of salt to intensify the flavor of the meat, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, which gives an irresistible aroma, and 1 teaspoon of dried parsley to finish off the seasoning mix. I mix all the ingredients thoroughly, making sure they are well incorporated. This will be the main seasoning for our chop, guaranteeing a rich and delicious flavor. The result will be juicy meat with seasoning well distributed, a very practical and tasty way to prepare chops at home. With the seasoning well mixed, it's time to get the meat ready for baking. Here, I'm using 2 chops which were pre-cooked earlier. I place the chops in a baking dish, side by side, to make seasoning easier. Next, I carefully spread the seasoning over the chops, covering the entire surface to ensure an even flavor. I use up all the prepared seasoning and don't leave anything in the bowl. This seasoning will further enhance the flavor of the meat, making it irresistible. I spread the seasoning well using my hands or a spoon and flip the chop to season the other side too, making sure everything is well coated. Now, I cover the baking dish with plastic wrap. I let the chop marinate for 30 minutes so it absorbs the seasoning well. After that time, I take the meat out of the marinade and place it on a piece of parchment paper. This step helps keep it juicy during oven time. I sprinkle a bit more seasoning on top of the meat to further enhance the flavor and create a rich layer of aromas. I add cubes of butter on top of each piece, which will make the meat even more tender. I wrap the meat in parchment paper, forming a tightly sealed package. And then I wrap it with aluminum foil to protect and cook it evenly. Now I place the packages on a tray, ready to go into the oven. I arrange them neatly on the tray and put them in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I let them bake for 50 minutes, the ideal time for the meat to become tender. After that time, I take them out of the oven and open the packages carefully. The aroma already reveals how delicious this recipe is. I slowly open the paper and reveal the result of the roasted meat. The meat is extremely tender, falling apart at the touch of a fork. A juicy chop, golden, and wonderfully fragrant. I cut it to better show the inside and confirm how tender it turned out. A true delight, juicy, well-cooked meat full of flavor. Our meat is ready to serve, perfect for any occasion.